The second my sister-in-law tried to humiliate my husband, I made one single move that embarrassed her in front of an entire luxury beach club. Vanessa is that girl. You know the type. Everything she does is for the Instagram aesthetic. Every holiday, every dinner is heavily curated, and she expects everyone to play their assigned roles. I'm usually the quiet one. I sit back, sip my iced coffee, and just let her run the circus. It's easier that way. But last month, she took it way too far. Vanessa invited me and my husband Dave to a VIP cabana at this ridiculously exclusive beach club in Malibu. She made a massive deal about how she was covering the rental, $500 for the day, just for the four of us. Vanessa, her husband Greg, Dave, and me. We get there, and it is gorgeous. The ocean breeze is perfect. We've got plush loungers, and we are halfway through a bucket of imported beers. It is totally relaxing. Then, Vanessa pushes her sunglasses up on her head, folds her hands on the teak table, and lets out this heavy, dramatic sigh. She looks at Dave, then at me, and says she booked this private cabana because we needed a secluded place to discuss our crisis. Dave and I just blinked at her. Vanessa leans in, using this hushed, fake sympathetic tone. She tells us that our recent decision to sell our house and travel the country in a customized Airstream trailer was frankly humiliating for the family image. She said we were acting like broke teenagers, throwing our futures away. Then, she aggressively slides a thick manila folder across the table, knocking over my glass of water. It spills everywhere, but she doesn't even blink. She tells us she took the liberty of putting down a deposit on a townhouse in her neighborhood and pulls out a silver pen. She taps it on the table. Sign the lease, guys, today, before you ruin your lives completely. Dave looked down at his lap, his face completely flushed with embarrassment, and seeing my husband look that defeated, something inside me just snapped. I didn't stay quiet this time. I stood up, my chair scraping loudly against the wooden deck. The couple in the cabana next to us actually stopped talking to look over. I picked up the perfectly printed lease, looked Vanessa dead in the eye, and tore it right down the middle. Then, I tore it again. Vanessa literally shrieked. She jumped back, clutching her pearls. Yes, she was wearing pearls at the beach, like I had just committed a crime. "What are you doing?" she gasped, her voice totally hysterical. I dropped the shredded paper right into the ice bucket. "I am done, Vanessa," I said, my voice shaking with pure adrenaline. "Did you seriously trap us in a $500 beach tent just to ambush our marriage? You don't control us." Greg stood up, puffing his chest out, and Vanessa started forcing these loud, theatrical, crocodile tears. She pointed a manicured finger at me and screamed that I was completely unhinged. She grabbed her oversized tote bag and yelled, "We are leaving, and I am canceling my card at the front desk. Good luck paying for this yourselves, you freaks." She expected us to panic. She expected us to beg. Instead, I reached into my beach bag, pulled out my platinum card, and slammed it down onto the teak table, right in front of the completely stunned cabana boy. "Cancel it," I said, staring right at Vanessa. "Put the whole day on mine, and bring us a bottle of your most expensive champagne, because we have a road trip to celebrate." Vanessa's jaw practically hit the sand. She and Greg stormed off, literally tripping over their sandals in a rush to escape the humiliation. Dave looked up at me, a massive grin spreading across his face, and we spent the next 6 hours drinking top-tier champagne and enjoying the most dramatic but perfect beach day of our entire lives.